What is going on, everybody? I'm sorry I haven't really been posting this kind of videos. Today we're going to take a look at a southwestern state, New Mexico. The state's nickname is the Land of Enchantment. Today I did New Mexico just by itself like several months ago to a year. So this time we're going to do the opposite, the top 10 reasons not to move to New Mexico. New Mexico became a state January 6, 1912, making it our 47th state. A lot of people think New Mexico is one big flat desert because it's in New Mexico. That's not the case because up north they have the forested areas. If you're thinking about moving to the Land of Enchantment, just beautiful desert views, you should probably watch my top 10 reasons not to move to New Mexico. Number 10, everything is spread out. If you drive in the main highway here, it could take you like hours to get to your destination. Pay attention because it can be pretty far from a gas station. So I will fill up. If I were you, I would fill up before you go somewhere. New Mexico is very open landed. Like there's a lot of space in the state, which is pretty good. Like that's why there's not an extreme amount of people like Texas, California, and all that stuff. But just to be aware that you will definitely need a car if you live in New Mexico. Sorry, my dog dropped his bone in the ground if you heard the background. But anyways, I mean, it's beautiful. The roads are very scenic, beautiful mountain views, deserts, forests. But just be aware of like how far the nearest gas station is, because you don't want to break down in the middle of nowhere because they don't really have internet. Number 9, there's not many jobs. New Mexico doesn't really offer that many jobs. They do have some jobs, but not as many compared to other states. Like Albuquerque, that's where they'll probably have the most businesses, like in the big cities like Albuquerque and Santa Fe, like Las Cruces. They do got like a good handful of small towns in New Mexico, but they don't really have much jobs. They do now, if you want to make decent money and good money, they do offer like construction worker and like oil fields and oil spills. Not oil spills, I'm sorry. Oil fields, oil factories. But who would want to be a construction worker in New Mexico? That's definitely not for me. It's like with that hot, it's hot and the blazing sunshine. So what I recommend if you move to New Mexico, have a job lined up for you, or do your own business. Number 8, crime. This kind of breaks my heart because New Mexico is one of my favorite states. It's kind of strange for me to say that, but it is, and I've never been there. But it's not exactly the safest state at all. It's the 45th safest state. That number kind of sucks, honestly, considering we have 50 states. That's like literally like the top 5 dangerous states. But the worst part of New Mexico is obviously going to be Albuquerque, because Albuquerque has like a gang activities and lots of drugs, so it's not really good. They have a lot of crime issues, violent crimes. And it's pretty much almost everywhere in the state too, but just in Albuquerque is even worse. Albuquerque by itself is 275% higher than the national average on violent crime. It's pretty high, so be careful. Number 7, the heat. New Mexico is hot, but it's a dry heat, so you don't really get that southern feeling. Georgia and Alabama, Mississippi, you don't really get there's not humidity there. It's just dry desert. The average temperature for winter The average is 62 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe a low of 40s to 30s. So it's pretty cold in the winters. The average summer temperature is between 85 to like 105 degrees, so it's pretty hot there. And like the heat lasts from like June to like September. That's the hottest months. But drink a lot of water. It's pretty dry and it's hot there, so it's a desert. So what do you expect? But if you love heat, then this is a place for you. If dry heat. Number 6, healthcare and health coverage. The healthcare in New Mexico isn't really the best. It's 14% of the population doesn't have any source of health insurance. That's not really a good thing. It's not really, it's like the amount of doctors in hospitals they are for the state of New Mexico, because New Mexico is a large rural western state. And plus, New Mexico is the 10th most unhealthiest state in the U.S. too. Like they have like obesity, a little bit of obesity, not as bad compared to like Louisiana and Mississippi, but they have a little obesity, lots of drug addictions, smoking addiction. So it's, and they don't, they just don't have the best healthy lifestyle either. So try to get good health and good health care there, especially if you're in retirement. Number 5, sales tax. The sales tax in New Mexico is about 5%. However, each town can have their own sales tax. But some sales tax in New Mexico can go up to 9%. They also have a pretty high alcohol tax too. Beer is taxed at a whopping 41 cents per gallon. Now, this is kind of weird. I didn't know beers came with gallons. Like, it's kind of strange to me, but that's the 13th highest beer tax in the country, though. Wine is taxed at around 45 cents per liter. They just keep getting per liter, per gallon. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know why they tax stuff per liter and per gallon, but I heard you can't tax wine like that in California because you would have a riot in your hands. Like they would lose their mind if they tax wine like this, like New Mexico. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Number 4, they have a drug problem. This is so sad. New Mexico, New Mexico has a really bad drug problem. A lot of people are addicted to drugs there. That's what I heard on the crime and stuff, and like the list and the facts about New Mexico, the cons of New Mexico. But drug problems are so bad in New Mexico, the police can't really make a dent out of it. I mean, there's not a lot of police there. They have one of the lowest cop and law enforcements in the country. About 25 people per resident suffers a fatal drug overdose every year in New Mexico. That's not good. That's so sad. And this is the Breaking Bad. I don't really know, but I just heard it was filmed. But it's kind of basically like the Breaking Bad. It's really bad. The drugs are bad there. But that's the suck part about New Mexico, is that they have so many criminals and drugs. I wish they would take that off and the state would be great. Number 3, the education suck. If you have kids and you enroll them to the New Mexico school district, their schools are consistently bad every single year. Like, the school system is not great. Now, the colleges are good. Don't get me wrong, the colleges are good. Just the middle schools and like the private schools aren't really great there. Like, the elementary schools might be okay. I don't really know too much about the education system. I just know that it sucks for sure. They're the second worst education. They're the worst education system in the entire country, behind I think either Mississippi or Nevada, one of those. But half of the students can't find Mississippi in a map though. That's kind of weird. Number 2, poverty and homelessness. In New Mexico, 20% of the adults live in poverty, and about like 29-30% of their children. This is sad. Like 17% of them experience hunger and food insecurities. Right now, I think there's like over 20,000 people living homeless in New Mexico right now. That's a really bad place to be homeless, because in the summertime that sun is beaming down on you, and there's like not, I wouldn't say hardly, but not enough water because it's the desert basically. So just it's sad to witness homeless people. I don't like that. This is the homeless population. Poverty over 25%. So like 26%. And number 1, the residents are leaving and low population. You probably have a good feeling that this one was coming, because New Mexico is a big state. Not it's by area it's a big state, but by population it's always been like a decline. The state has been suffering low population for a long time. Some of the reasons why people are leaving this beautiful state is because they have like crimes, poverty, school, like bad schools and drugs. This state will have a low population problem, and it'll probably last for a while. Like, they were more births than deaths and stuff, but like a state saw a small increase for the past couple of years, but not enough. The population for 2022, actually it decreased. Now last year or the 2 years ago was 2.2 million. Now it's 2.1 million, and it's gonna stay like this for a little bit. This is bad for any state. When people like flee the state, it's like basically you're fleeing the sinking ship, but you're fleeing the state. That's pretty bad. It's 2022, so hopefully New Mexico changes and does better, because I really love this state. So, all right, that was it. That was my top 10 reasons not to move to New Mexico. Hopefully you enjoy this video. This one kind of sucks. Like, this one was sad for me, because there was a lot of there's a lot of negatives about New Mexico. But if you haven't gone and seen my other one, go check out my play. I have a Southwest playlist of the U.S. I did the top 10 reasons to move to New Mexico a while back, but I'm doing the opposite. I would maybe consider living there. I'm not sure. I'm debating there, Arizona, or Nevada, one of those three. But you should visit there. More people should visit. They have great food, the desert, and it's beautiful over there. So hopefully enjoy this video, and I'll see you in another time. Bye.